Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Living Your Happily Ever After Life with me, Anna Morfides from Many Hearts Counseling, soon to be clinical counselor, and we're going to be discussing the power of choice through the very humbling experience of going through a human development course. It was quite apparent and is now of no secret to anyone that almost all of us are going to experience some sort of attachment style, some sort of negative core belief, some sort of trauma when we are going through the process of childhood, early childhood, middle childhood, maybe even in infancy, depending on the many macro and micro systems that take place and are present in our immediate and or not so immediate environments, such as your culture, your family dynamics, how your family grew up, meaning your caregivers, your parents, the people that raised you, the economic state of the place of birth at that time. What part of the world did you grow up in? Was it rural? Was it more of a city setting? The education of your primary caregivers and those around you. And again, going back to beliefs, there's so many different influences that will shape one's internal environment. And then when we become adults, and we don't fully become adults until our brain passes the age of 24, because that's when it fully develops to be able to use all of its logical capacity and power to think and interpret and think about existential things and beyond just this is black, this is white. So when we do finally become adults, and in our brain as well, the way that we're going to experience life sometimes is the way that we would not necessarily have chosen for ourselves up to so far. But the beautiful thing is now as adults, we do have choice. We have choice to repeat same unhelpful patterns that we learned from our childhood. We have choice to hold on to the attachment style that we acquired as a child. We have a choice to hold on to the thoughts that are core beliefs learned as children, say, or we have a choice to change our attachment style if we fall into the category of dismissive, avoidant, disorganized, anxious, preoccupied, and go back into a secure attached style sort of way of being. And same with core beliefs. We can choose to change our core beliefs. We can choose to change our thoughts, which then will change our predominant emotions that we are in most of our day, which will then in turn bring in different experiences into our life. Inner will always be reflected by the outer. And sometimes when we do the work to change the inner, it might take a minute for the outer to catch up, but it will, and it always does. And in this human development course, it was very much highlighted that through this process called neuroplasticity, because apparently what happens is when we are children, there's a specific age, and especially between 0 to about 7 years old, when we are absorbing, think of your neurons as like this magical circuit of wires everywhere, and they're trying to create synapses, which basically means it's a pathway that then releases information at the bottom through these little things called neurotransmitters. And those little neurotransmitters carry chemicals. It could be oxytocin. They could carry endorphins. They could carry cortisol. So depending on what we are absorbing from the world around us, then the appropriate signal, like world is hard, I'm not smart, I don't feel liked, I don't feel loved, no one likes me, I am not capable, I'm not worthy. Like, what are we absorbing and what is that releasing? And it turns out that the little circuits that don't get used, like the ones that feel validation from my primary caregivers. So say you're living in criticism from your primary caregivers, or they're unable to show emotion, so then maybe perhaps you start to then lose that circuit that would say you are safe to express your emotions, you are loved, you can be yourself, feel free to be yourself. Like, we lose the ability. So basically what happens is it just gets cut off. It's like nipping the tree. Those get nipped off, and then they're just not releasing those, I guess, more positive ways of thinking about ourselves. So it is of no wonder that later on as adults, through the process of neuroplasticity, we can't regenerate that same pathway that we lost, that was saying like you are worthy and you are good enough, but we can recreate it. And then how do we recreate things? By repetition. So you repeat the complete opposite of what you are now choosing to not feel and or experience anymore. I am safe. I am loved. I am worth everything. I deserve it. Power of gratitude. Because again, here we can choose to not radically accept what is. And if we don't radically accept what is, it's really hard to create change, if not impossible, because that is what we taught. Change cannot be created from a space where acceptance is not implemented, because that means that you're wishing for something more. So you're not living in that present moment and accepting what is and choosing to change it. Choosing to wish for something different keeps you in that state of still wishing for something different. Accepting what is and choosing to experience something different. And how are you going to experience something different? It's not about changing all the other people on the outside. It's about changing you. So the power comes back to you. So we have this capability and capacity. Actually, the capability is there. The capacity is sometimes not there to do this. Maybe because we are overworked, or we don't have the knowledge or the awareness or the time, something. So we can, again, choose to give ourselves that time, give ourselves that knowledge, and create that space to make a different choice for ourselves without depending on anyone else. This is probably the biggest, I would say, I want to use the word pion, like on the chessboard. It's the biggest piece on the chessboard. That's your queen. That is your queen on the chessboard, is the fact that you can do this at any time. You can choose to change your life at any time, only relying on yourself and not anyone outside of you. What else is more powerful than that? So we're not victims. We're not the only ones. We all experience some sort of something in our adolescence, our earlier childhood years. The world is not a perfect place. It's not meant to be a perfect place. The point of this existence right now is to come into it, understand the product that we have become due to our childhood, and slowly and surely heal those unhelpful ways of being and recreate a completely new experience for ourselves. And sometimes it might take a year, sometimes it might take 2 years, but I promise you that if you continue to do the work to choose different, not have expectations on others, the only person to have any expectations out of will be yourself, because there's so much power that lies within that. So expecting yourself to show up for you, to treat you how you want to be treated from others, to give yourself all that you are seeking from others. That's a choice and a superpower that no one can take away from you, and you can exercise at any point given in time, space, time, reality. It's your superpower. It's something that no one can take that away from you. And yes, sometimes it feels a lot more harder to do that because of external circumstances, but then we go back to this powerful stance of Creator, God, universe has not given us anything that we cannot handle, or that we knew that we were going to sign up for, and we can get past it. Again, this is a choice. And how are we choosing to anchor that in? Are we going to choose to think, oh, I'll never be able to get through this because of this and this and this? Or are you going to say, I will be able to get through this because I'm going to change this and this and this? We always have power. We always have control, especially as adults. All of our brain is now in its fullest capacity to be able to help us to support in this way of being. And it's never too late. It doesn't matter if you're 30, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70. It is never too late. And any chance to live differently and more free, I would take over no chance of living that, because it seems to make this journey so much more worthwhile, and such a good reminder of how life could feel. And once you get to that, you will never want to go back the other way, or even not want to do this again. You're going to get a little taste and glimpse of transmuting everything and staying by the power of your choice in more harmonious ways of feeling that would be aligning with gratitude and self-love and acceptance. And it will allow you to feel so good that you will want to repeat life again, believe me, because I used to be one of those people that did not want to repeat life. And I would even go as far to say that there were points in my life that I actually thought about ending it. So that is a whole other big topic, but there were those thoughts were present at some point that it was easier to just end it than live it. And who knew that I would be at a space right now that I would never think that. And again, I go back to the fact that once you get a taste of how life is actually meant to be lived, there's like no reason why you would not want to be here for as long as you possibly can to continue to experience that, even if it is for the last little bit of it. Thank you so much. I'm going to make this a quick little video on the power of choice, and reminding you that every day you have the power to choose what you want to live and experience and think and anchor. Pay attention to how you are feeling. Pay attention to the thoughts behind your feelings. It is your superpower to rewire and change that at any time. And if you wanted to take a step further and learn more about rewiring, I really do enjoy Dr. Joe Dispenza's work and Louise Hayes's work as well. So yeah, if you like anything about this video, I would love to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed already to my channel, please do so. Or if you're listening on the podcast, I would love to have you as a subscriber there as well. With all of my love and gratitude, I will see you next week.